What's up guys, it's Nicole, and today's recipe is perfect for those of you who are sick and tired of being in the kitchen after a long holiday season of cooking and baking and all that stuff. This is something that makes a big portion and you just cook it once and you have a lot left over, so you can easily reheat it throughout the week for a healthy lunch or a healthy dinner or both. No judgment, but it comes together really quickly, and it's something you can also customize. It's oil-free, it's hearty, it's healthy, it's all the good things that we love. So I hope you guys will enjoy this recipe, and let's get started. The basis of this stew is root vegetables, and what I love about this is you can customize it to whatever kind of veggies that you like. And I also really like that root veggies are in season right now, so they are at the peak of nutrition, but they're also really inexpensive. So for this, I'm going to be using some potatoes, some turnip, some carrots, celery, onions, garlic, and mushrooms. Here I have some shiitake mushrooms, and then I'm going to get a big soup pot. This is another thing I love about this recipe, is literally everything just gets chopped up and thrown into a pot, and it's super easy. So I'm going to find a big one and add 4 cloves of garlic and half of a large onion. You want to make sure that you're cutting all of the vegetables that go into this pot pretty much the same size. I kind of like having nice chunks because that's what's really going to make this really hearty and more of like a meal rather than just a soup. So after I add the onions, I'm going to add my carrots, and then I'm also going to add my celery. And a little trick for celery is just to actually add the leaves too, because sometimes we just throw them away because you think that it's not part of the actual stalk. But there's lots of flavor and obviously nutrients in the green part, leafy green part, so you can add that in if you like as well. And then I'm going to add my potatoes. And the good thing about this recipe is you can use pretty much any potato, like sweet potato or regular potato. The only one I wouldn't use is I wouldn't use a Japanese sweet potato or an Idaho potato because they tend to be a little bit more powdery and they kind of fall apart in this recipe, and you want it to hold its shape, especially since you're going to be reheating this throughout the week. Then I'm going to add my turnip, and a little trick for turnips or rutabagas is to actually just cut small pieces off at a time. If you were going to take your knife and try to just go right through the center, you'd get really frustrated, kind of like when you're cutting a butternut squash. So just cut off small pieces at a time and it should be pretty simple. And then add that to the pot as well, along with your mushrooms. And again, you want those to be nice big chunks because they do cook down a lot when they're cooking. And then we're going to season this with some smoked paprika. This is going to give it a really nice flavor and also color. And then we're going to add some herbs. I like to use dried rosemary and also some dried thyme. You could use Italian seasoning if you like. And then I'm going to add a little bit of cayenne pepper. This doesn't add a ton of spice. It just really rounds out the flavor, kind of sharpens it, and gives it a really nice kind of peppery note in the background. But if you hate spice, you can totally leave it out, and yeah, it'll still be good. But if you like a little bit of kick, I would definitely do this. And then add some black pepper and then some veggie broth. Now, I like to just buy this from the grocery store. It's super simple, and I add a whole carton of that. And then 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. This is going to create a really nice depth of flavor. And then 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. We're doing this instead of salt in this recipe. Then I'm going to be adding some lentils. I have 1 cup of red lentils. You could also add beans, but I'll tell you when in the video would be a good time to add the beans, because if you added them now, they would just totally fall apart. Bring this to a boil and then cover it. I like to make sure that the lid is ajar, and then after about 15-20 minutes, once all of the veggies are fork tender, I add 1 cup of green peas. These are frozen green peas, and this would be a good time to add your beans if you're using them. I would use either kidney beans or cannellini beans. And then it is pretty much ready to serve. You can simmer this on low for like an hour if you want. The longer it cooks, the better. But once they're fork tender, they are technically ready to go. So if you're in a hurry, you can eat it like that. And like I said, this is something that's like really simple. You could add some hot sauce. I always add a little bit of hummus and avocado on top, or a drizzle of tahini. A little bit of lemon is really good. You can really customize it and get creative. And I have a really cool way to use up the leftovers too that you will see in Wednesday's video. So this is a little sneak peek if you're interested in how to use up leftovers, because like I said, this is a meal prep recipe and you're gonna have leftovers throughout the week, so it'll be super fast fast and easy to reheat, and I thought it'd be cool to give you some ideas on how to do that so it's not just the same thing every time. So make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you catch up with that video on Wednesday. And I hope that you guys enjoyed this recipe. Click the screen here if you want to watch some more recipe videos. And if you're not following me on Instagram or Instagram stories, I do a lot of like quick kind of in the moment what I'm eating recipes there. So if you're interested in that and need some food inspiration, check me out there, and I will see you guys on Wednesday. Bye.